It's a great pleasure to be talking to you, Ijeoma, today from Nigeria. It's a great pleasure, really. Could you please introduce yourself and what do you do for business?
Okay, thank you, Noah. My name is Ijeoma. I am an educator from Nigeria. I've been in the education industry for over 7 years now.
Mhm.
And presently, I work in a school where I plan the educational program.
Very interesting. So my first question is, what are student-teacher relationships?
Okay, the student-teacher relationship is basically the interactions between a teacher and the students. But this is a special kind of interaction that goes beyond just the academics. It goes beyond academics into the personal lives of the individuals.
Okay. What is the effect of these relationships?
Well, depending on the way you look at it, there is actually a positive effect and a negative effect. So, with the positive effect, a good teacher-student relationship will actually encourage the students to participate effectively in the classroom. A good teacher-student relationship will encourage the children. It will encourage them and motivate them to try to attempt different things without the fear of failure. It also builds confidence in them, while at the same time promoting the academic standard and outcome. But this same student-teacher relationship, if it is a negative one, it
Yeah.
just does everything the other way around.
Hmm. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Students will not cooperate. Then, yeah, students will not cooperate. Students will be unwilling to make attempts in the classroom because of fear of failure. So, student-teacher relationship is basically two-way. It can either be positive or negative. So it depends on the one you look at. Each one has its own effect on the students.
Hmm. Okay, great. The next question is, how does the teacher's approach affect these relationships?
Okay. Well, for a teacher to be able to have a good teacher-student relationship with the students, that teacher has to actually understand what he or she is teaching. You need to understand the curriculum very well. That way you'll be able to pass it on to the children. And then make clear goals and standards. Let what you plan to achieve in the classroom be a very clear one to the students. In the same vein, while you are creating your workload for the students, give appropriate workloads. Do not overwork the students. Do not underwork to the students. You know your students, you know your classroom, you know what they're capable of doing. Give them what is just appropriate for them. Same thing goes with assessment. If the students have to be assessed, also make sure that the level of assessment is appropriate for the age of the class you are teaching.
Hmm. Yeah, very interesting. Did you watch live examples of these relationships in your classrooms?
Okay. So you in a classroom with different students, they all will exhibit different behaviors. Now, as a teacher, you need to have a relationship with each and every one of them. Avoid having favorites. In the classroom, you could have a child in the past, maybe with a previous teacher, or it could even be at home. Now, for you to be able to have this a good teacher-student relationship with these students, you need to be able to get to know that student on a personal level, not just academically. You need to know the student on a personal level. What interests them? What are their fears? What are their dreams? If these students are involved in extracurricular activity, you also need to probably partake in it, visit them once in a while, talk to them. That way they'll be able to open up better to you. Otherwise, if you're not that caring, If you don't have that relationship, they may tend to become distant from you. Now, I could give you a life example.
Mhm.
So I had this student that I once taught maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Now, he's always had learning disability. And probably because the relationship wasn't there in the previous classes, the teachers probably didn't understand what he was going through, what he was facing. So when he got to my class, he had already lost confidence and he was unwilling to attempt anything. He was just comfortable being left in the shadow. Now, when this child, the first time he was in my class, when I spoke with him, you could just see that he had almost given up on academics. I gave him extra one-on-one time.
Mhm.
Now, during break, it could be before the class, the structured classroom learning starts. Sometimes it could be after classroom, but I gave him that extra one-on-one. We difficult. We talked on individual levels. I encouraged him, and with time, even though by the time he was leaving my class, even though he wasn't like my best student, but he had gone way beyond, he was better than how he was when he entered my classroom.
Mhm.
And even up till today, even though he has left the school where I teach, we still we still talk occasionally. He still calls me, I still call him, the parents, and that is just one of the so many.
Okay. Ijeoma, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. What are the requirements to build a good relationship?
The requirements to build a good relationship. Oh, for you to have a good relationship with your students, you must attitude. Never
Ijeoma?
say no. Okay. So I said for you to be able to build a good relationship with a student, you must have a positive attitude. You must be able to encourage them. Don't, well, I know it may sound like a cliche, but never say never. Never tell the student you can't do this. Never tell them you can never be able to achieve this. You can't be this. You can't get to this place.
Mhm.
Always have a positive attitude. Even when they're getting it wrong, encourage them. Look at the positives. Celebrate them for even attempting it. Also be able to have mutual respect and also demand respect from each of them. Also demand that that each of them respect one another. Demand both from teacher to student, student to teacher, or student to student. Demand the same respect from everyone. You also need to make them know, you need to show them that they can trust you. They can trust, open better up to you. They'll be able to talk to you and be able to, you know, they'll be able to trust you and know that, okay, you are with me along the way. And as long as you're here with, I will not be scared. Also show interest with things that are happening outside the classroom, their family life, their social life, their sport life. That way, you are only still with me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So let's go to the next question. How to maintain a
Okay.
healthy relationship between teachers and students?
Okay. I In order to be able to maintain a healthy and good relationship
Mm-hmm.
with between the teachers and the students, everybody needs to understand the line, set boundaries. Everybody needs to know how friendly is being too friendly. There should always be boundary. The teacher knows the boundary that the students should not exceed. The student should also make the teachers understand, okay, I want this part of my life to be private. I don't want to talk about this part or that. The teacher, first and foremost, the teacher should be able to set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yeah.
also be available to listen and to help them. Don't seem overly busy. Always create time for them. When they're in need, they should know that you are available to be talked to, regardless of the time. They should know that you're always available and that you will listen and you will help. At least you will offer solutions. That way, they know that, yes, we'll be able to maintain a healthy relationship. Because when the students feel that, oh, she's too busy, he's too busy, they may tend to withdraw back. But if they know that you are always available, I believe one will be able to maintain a healthy relationship.
Yeah. Very interesting. The next question is: do these relationships ships affect the quality of the teacher?
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely it does. It affects the quality of the teacher because when you have a good relationship with the students will be more willing to attend. They will be more willing to do things. They will want to even exceed, they will want to, should I say, make you happy, to make you to be proud of them. So they will go above and beyond. And this also have a way of showing both in their personal lives and in their academic life. You will see that ultimately the students tend to perform better in their academics, and that is the dream of every teacher, to have students that are doing well. And once a teacher sees that the students are doing well, yes, definitely, it affects the quality of the teacher. It motivates the teacher to want to do more. It makes the teacher to be passed to be to. It increases the passion in the teacher, and wants to make them also to continue in that same line.
Okay. So let's go to the next question. What are the challenges for these relationships, Ijeoma?
Okay, the challenges. Yeah, one, I mentioned it. I made reference to it sometime at the beginning about when students come with bad experiences. Now, a child or a student who have encountered a difficult teacher in the past, or a student who comes from a troubling home, they tend to be more reclusive. They are not willing to open up. It takes longer for the teacher to be able to break in, unlike
Mm.
students who have had wonderful relationships in the past. Now, this is one of the challenges. When the students have faced a poor past.
Mhm.
Also, students with behavioral or learning disability, they also find it difficult to create, they find it difficult to trust anyone. And since they're not able to trust anyone, it poses a challenge to the relationship the teacher will be able to have with those students.
Mhm.
So I'm going to leave it at those two as the two main challenges that I've seen so far in the profession. One, bad experiences, students with bad experiences in the past, and two, students with learning disabilities. These are the two challenges that top the charts for me.
Okay. Yeah. Ijeoma,
Yeah.
would you like to add anything else?
Uh, okay. I just want to encourage everyone. It's not easy to be an educator. It takes a lot of passion. You need to, first of all, be passionate about what you do, and you need to be dedicated. You need to you need to want to see that lives are changed. And if, as an educator, your main aim with these students is to see a change in their attitude, in their lives, to see that those students turn out to be better individuals in the future, then I know any such educator who want to put in their best, create a good student relationship, and work towards making these students into individuals that the society will be proud of tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ijeoma. It has been really insightful and helpful.
Thank you, Noah, for hosting me.